Has this ever happened to you? So you're playing some Dark Souls and you finally get back to the boss after dying to the runback because of a skill issue. You enter the fog gate and then you die. Again. And you think to yourself, I'm some trash, and you're telling me I have to run all the way there just to retry? Why isn't it like Elden Ring where you spawn right outside the door? I hate Dark Souls, come on bro, I wish I could just automate this somehow. So then you sit at the bonfire and think about how you're gonna have to do the run back again. Then you think about how this is your 54th attempt already, and how many times the boss has already killed you over and over and over and over. Well, through pain and suffering comes innovation. Introducing the Dark Souls 1 Run Back Automator. So automation and scripting is pretty much making a repetitive task easier by letting technology handle it. So I thought, why not take those same principles and apply it to Dark Souls? Especially the runbacks, because they could get a little tedious when you're doing them over and over. When I was trying to get all the achievements in Dark Souls 1, the runback to Seathe to cut off his tail was pretty annoying. Same with Bed of Chaos. I wanted to build this tool as a way to practice Python and to solve a problem I was having. Now before anyone says runbacks are part of the Dark Souls experience, yeah, I would agree. I think everyone should go through the pain and suffering Miyazaki intended at least once. This is really a tool for people on repeat playthroughs who maybe just want to do a boss rush and want to just press one button and have the script take them to the fog gate so they could scroll on reels waiting to try the boss again. Ironically though, it takes a lot longer to script a perfect route than just running it legit, so it's more so just so then you could have a script that you could run in new game cycles so you don't have to do the run back again if you don't want to. It's a pretty fun challenge actually. You have to tweak the timing by milliseconds, adjust for stamina, and go through constant trial and error. But when your script lands you right in front of the fog gate for the first time, it's a pretty satisfying feeling. So how it works is we have our Python script called root parser, and you need to have it running as administrator because we're using a library called PyDirect input, and this is how we inject key presses and mouse clicks. So once you run the script, it's gonna give you a little consent warning, and once you agree to that, it will bring you to the menu. I have scripts in here that I use for testing, but by default you won't have any here. To make it do something, you're gonna have to create a txt file or a text file in the scripts folder and map out your own path with the commands. So on the left side of the screen I have VS Code that I use to run the script, and then on the right side I have Dark Souls 1. So how it's supposed to work is you run your script, select the text file that you want to run, and hopefully you have your commands all correct in there. So you tab back into Dark Souls in time and then it will execute the script for you. All the command syntax is in the readme file, so you could use that in order to see all the commands you could use, but there's also 4 golden rules that you need to know for consistency. So first rule is your starting point needs to be consistent. So your character needs to be in the exact same spot every time you run the script. So I always run my script from having just respawned at the bonfire, so I just make sure not to move my mouse or press any keys. Second is your sensitivity, so don't change your mouse sensitivity or your camera turns will be completely off. So I usually play at 9 for the in-game sensitivity settings, so if I changed it to like 1 and I wrote the script with sensitivity 9 for example, then it's not going to work because the mouse movements will be off. So number 3 is your game settings, specifically things like camera wall recovery, because that moves your camera like without you pressing anything, and if you write a script with that and then you turn it off, it might not work, so just keep that in mind. So the final rule is your build stats. So if you write a script for a character with 30 endurance and they have medium roll, and then try to run it on a character with 8 endurance, it won't work because your character will run out of stamina halfway through and it's gonna desync. So good practice is to comment your requirements at the top of the script file. So here I have an example of a script I wrote for the Ornstein and Smo run back. The runback for Ornstein and Smo isn't that long and it's not that dangerous, so it serves as a good example of where this tool would work the best. I showed the runback of the Taurus Demon earlier in this video, and that one is kind of dangerous because sometimes the hollows just let you through, and sometimes they'll just do this lunging attack and kill you. So that's why I also implemented a global kill switch button. So if the RNG gods aren't on your side, I have it default as the home key, but you could change it to whatever key you want. And basically it terminates the script and you could take control. So treat it like a self-driving car where you still need to keep your hand on the wheel to take over just in case something goes wrong, because enemies in Dark Souls do not have set behavior. So while you can script more dangerous runbacks, for example like the Taurus Demon like I showed earlier in the video, the best use case here is for the runbacks that are annoying because they are long rather than because they have more enemies. Think like Bed of Chaos or Seathe the Scaleless, because those ones it's more about running rather than trying to get past enemies. So some drawbacks and limitations of the tool is that the parser is designed to read the script line by line, so it does it sequentially. So just keep that in mind when you're writing your script files, that the commands execute one by one, so it has to be in an order. So that's pretty much it. So if you want to check out the code, it's in the description on the GitHub link. So thanks for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you.